apple maple syrup is a great combination and such a good way to preserve your apples. This particular one calls for 12 cups of apples. I prefer to use my apple core slicer peeler to prepare my apples with. It seems to make it go a little bit faster, but you could use a knife if you wanted instead. Sometimes it needs a little help getting started, but once it does, it is just so fast. This is always one that the kids love to use with me because, I don't know, it just seems so much fun. So now that I have it all cut up into my spiral, I want to cut them into smaller pieces. So the first thing I do is I kind of do my fine tuning and I pull off any little chunks of apple skin. And then I just slice down into the center all the way around it. And that provides some really small chunks of apples. This is just a really fun recipe because it has all these chunks of apples in it. I mean, it's got the syrup too, which is lovely, but I don't know, I kind of like the apple chunks. If I ever have any spots in my apples, I make sure that I take those out too. It's a little more common in the ones that I get just because I get them from the orchard as opposed to from the store. The other thing is to watch for those apple seeds because sometimes they escape past the little device. I then add 6 cups of sugar, 1 cup of maple syrup, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of allspice, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. Then I'll place this on the stove and bring it to a boil. Now it's ready to be jarred in half-pint containers, and I'll fill it up to 1/4 of an inch of headspace, which is the space from the top of the food to the top of the jar. Everything's so sticky right now. It's just kind of how it is working with apples and working with apple syrup, even more so. I try to make sure that I get an even amount of the chunks versus the syrup in each jar so that I don't have one that's just syrup or vice versa. And if I overfill a little bit, like I did this one, I just take a little spoon and pull out the excess and put it in one that needs it. I'll then use a clean, damp cloth to wipe off the rims of my jars. This just makes it so that if there's anything on the edge, that it won't interfere with the seal. I'll then place on my lids and rings until they're fingertip tight. This allows air to escape, which creates the vacuum, which makes it so that it seals, so it's kind of important. Then I'll place these in my canner and process them for 10 minutes if at sea level. I'm at 1,200 feet, so I'll process them for 15. Now that it's come to a nice boil, I'll set my timer. Now that the timer's gone off, I'll remove the lid, turn off the heat, and wait for 5 minutes. I then place my jars on a heat-resistant surface about 1 to 2 inches apart, just so that they can cool down quickly. Then I'll leave them there for about 24 hours until they have a really good seal. After that point, I can remove the ring and use hot soapy water to clean off the outside. Then I just store them in a cool, dry, dark location and use them sometime within the next 1 to 3 years. Today I actually made some cinnamon apple syrup as well, and when it came time to taste test, I thought, what on earth am I gonna eat this with? I don't have any waffles, don't have any pancakes right now. I've been so busy making videos that it's been, oatmeal kind of mornings. So I ended up just eating it with a spoon. So I think I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. It's a little hard for me because it's so sweet. I like sweet, but there's a line. This one's not bad that way though. Because it does have those chunks of apples in there, it kind of offsets just how sweet the syrup is. Of course, if I was to eat this on pancakes or waffles, I would love how sweet it is. And I absolutely love that maple flavor in there with it. It's really good. Love the chunks, love the maple. What's not to like?